Hi, everyone, and welcome to another car here on the Car Reviews podcast with CollectorCarCanada.CA. So today we have an interesting one. It's a 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. So the 40 implies, with many series of Land Cruiser, of course, over the years, the 40 is one of the series where this Land Cruiser is known more for ruggedness and reliability over technology and comfort. So yeah, a really rugged piece of machinery here. What we'll do is we'll start it up, and then we'll have a listen to the engine idling as well as the exhaust at idle. So this one is a carbureted machine, and there's a choke here as well. So if you see me adjusting things before we start it, that's what I'm doing. So here we go. We'll give it a start and listen to that engine and go from there. So I see that we're in neutral here. I'm going to adjust the choke outward a bit. And here we go for the start. So as I say, it's got the manual choke here, controlled on the dash. This isn't the first start of the day. You can see a cooler start in our detailed listing. So I only opened the choke about halfway. You can hear it idling a bit quicker than a natural idle. So I'm going to roll down the choke a bit, and the idle will slow. And this 79 Land Cruiser FJ40 is ready to idle. So I'll hop out and we'll take a closer look underneath in the engine compartment. So here's a nice beauty shot of the 79 Land Cruiser FJ40. You'll understand why in a minute, why there are no hood releases from inside the cabin. The hood's released on either side here. Those are spring loaded, those releases are. So we get those done. The hood will open a crack. And then for safety, there's another hood release in here. A little tricky with operating the camera, but there we go. And then the prop rod is going to pop down from the hood itself. We'll get that into place. And that prop rod's into place, so let's take a quick look. So we've got an inline 6-cylinder on this 79 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40, displacing 4.2 liters. So there's an engine code there. And when I get in to show you the inline 6, at least the spark plug cables, you can get a listen to it. Belt's running nice and freely, and that fan is going too. If you look closely at this battery, you'll see a date of 8/24. So it was manufactured just in August 2024. Nice new battery in here. Here's a little more car data, and you see that 2F engine code on here as well. So I promised you listen to the engine at idle. Let's head back to the single exhaust here in the rear. Nice easy idle. So I'll head back over to the cab and cut the engine, and we can take a good look at starting with the exterior. I'll put the hood down, but I won't do the side releases. So yeah, without connecting those side releases, the hood's just resting in place. So 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40 with a 4.2 liter carbureted engine. As you might gather from the look of it, it's a four-wheel drive vehicle. When we get into the inside, I'll give you a look at the controls for four-wheel drive. It's got 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. Up front, the Toyota's equipped with a winch. There's a good look at it. Pretty nice and clean. I don't see any signs of rust on the winch itself. It's controlled with a power controller in the glove box. Again, we'll show you that when we get inside as well. And there's the front of the winch with the hook. Tow hooks on either side, as well as up above here. Big, two big headlights with the Toyota grille. And close Toyota followers will recall the Toyota FJ40, which was released in the 2000s, which also had a cult following, much like this one did. And the front end of this was definitely an inspiration for those early 2000s FJ40s. So there are various series of the Land Cruiser. There have been a lot of different Land Cruisers over the years. As I was saying in the opening, the FJ40, the 40 series, implies ruggedness and reliability over comfort and technology. And just like the North American Jeeps, which are now marketed by Chrysler, of course, these Land Cruisers were originally developed as wartime vehicles in Japan in the 30s. Getting up closer to the hood here, these little releases are for flipping down the windshield. So when the roof is off, the roof is removable. It's a bolt system though, so we're not going to take it off today. But that, as you can see from the hinges here, the windshield does fold down, so it can be a completely open air vehicle. This here is a vent for air to the feet of driver, and there's one on the passenger side as well. We've got a shot of the car with those open on the detailed listing for this Toyota FJ40 Land Cruiser. A running board there with a check plate pattern. And no, one look at this truck. No one's claiming this to be a #1 condition truck. Still running nicely, as you saw, but it's got a genuinely rugged look to it. Getting a little closer here. It does have mirrors on either side, exterior mirrors on either side, and the roof is white, much like the FJ40s of the 2000s. They made those all with white mirrors as well. And then another removable piece, you can see the gap here. This panel is removable as well, but with the body fully in place, I'll show you this window here. As you can tell here, these are hinges and there's a release here. That back window opens up for a little bit better airflow with that panel in place. I'm not going to open it now, but as I say, like I said earlier, there are photos of that on our detailed listing, just like there are for those foot vents for the front occupants. So working our way around, yeah, lots of badges of honor on this 79 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. You can see the sort of mud and snow rated tires at all four corners. They're a light truck tire, it's worth noting. The measurements are a little different. So they're a 30-inch tire, and BF Goodrich with the white letters. But what prompted me was to look at the spare tire. There's a 14-inch spare, and that's a full-size tire. However, not quite as grippy as the BF Goodrich white lettered tires currently mounted on the car. There's a trailer hitch in place. You can see that the car's not currently registered, no license plate on it. The current owners had the car since 2020 when it was included with the property he bought where we're shooting this. And with the pandemic, he had planned to get it registered, and things have changed. That it's time to move it along to the next owner. So there's a good look at the suspension and the big rear differential. Got those rough country McPherson struts. This spare tire swings away. So there's a good release here. Pretty easy to operate. That just swings out. And we can open the rear doors and get a look back here. So there's a look with the rear doors open. we'll wait to go inside until till we do the interior. As I say, there's some rugged looks to this 79 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. The biggest scratching here on the body is here on this corner, and there's a bit of paint peeling here right to the front of the passenger's rear wheel well. Fuel door, the fuel cap underneath. I won't open that now, but we do have a photo of what's underneath there on our detailed listing. Here's a look at one of those rear side windows that opens from the inside by the rear passengers. See some damage here on this lock cylinder, but the door is operational, the latch is operational. And working our way around, there's that running board with the check plate pattern, the vent. This is a manual antenna, so no power on this. It's operated the old-fashioned way. And a recognizable, familiar Toyota Land Cruiser emblem here. And as I was saying earlier, it's got this Land Cruiser's four-wheel drive. So it's got locking hubs up here. So the old-fashioned way of engaging four-wheel drive, you pop up and you turn those hubs. And we'll get another good look at the front end with the white grille frame and the big round headlights. So let's take a look at the inside of the truck. I'll also mention that this seller, here's the worst flaw on this side. I'll show these two. Right there and right there. This seller has opted for our mobile pre-purchase inspection. It's actually being done a couple hours after we're shooting this video, but do take a look on our detailed listing for the results of that pre-purchase inspection. It's something we offer at a modest extra charge at a modest charge for all sellers. I corrected myself by leaving out extra because listings are at no charge on CollectorCarCanada.CA. So what looks to be original vinyl mats are in place. I say that partly because of the look of the wear of them, and also with this Toyota branding here. There's a clever console here. Just by some of the modernities, I don't think it's original with the cup holders. And then there's some storage here and some storage down there as well. There are even cup holders in the rear for rear passengers. But here are the look at the front seats. They look to be original seats. However, this seat cover on the driver's side is different from the passenger, and it doesn't match the seat back. So I'm thinking that this seat bottom on the driver's side's been updated. There's a tear on it on the side and a couple of seam splits here on the seat back. But climbing into the cockpit, there's an 80 mile per hour speedometer, and there's a kilometer an hour reading as well, going up to 140 kilometers an hour. The odometer reads 10,507, but this is going to be a true mileage unknown TMU unit. We're not sure about how authentic that mileage is, given that it's only 5 characters. So there's a light controller, and there are these vents as well on each side. They blow hot air onto the door windows to help keep them defrosted in case you're driving in cold weather. Some supplementary gauges down below for oil pressure, fuel level, temperature, and then an amp meter. And here are basic HVAC controls, wiper washer, and here's that choke I was operating earlier. A couple warning lights for emergency brake and fasten belts. Here are some instructions not only for shifting gears, but also for the four-wheel drive system to move between 4 high and 4 low, and then again from 4 low to 2 low. Ashtray here, and a good handlebar for the passenger. One thing I note, there's no headliner in this Toyota, and you can see that the inside of the top looks a little distressed, but it kind of adds to the theme of the look of this Toyota. Manual windows, manual locks, no air conditioning. Pretty basic unit in terms of options. As I was saying earlier, this car is more about ruggedness and reliability than luxuries. So now we'll get a look at the area for the rear occupants. So a big utility look to it right now with the seats folded up. A good amount of space for cargo, if that's what you're using it for. But there are 2 seats back here. They're strapped down. So you release those straps, you push those legs forward for them to fold out. And there you've got a seat for a rear passenger. And they are equipped with seat belts, as you see. So I'll demonstrate this one as well, maybe without the leg and without the seat belt, but it pops right down. I don't think you want to sit on it without that leg underneath you, but it's easy enough to operate as I showed. Big roll bar, so I'd call it a 4-point roll bar. There's one sort of behind the front seats, and then it's supported here on the rear as well. I think I pointed out the trail hitch, but if not, there it is. And then these latches. This is how to open this left side door from the inside. And of course, this one's openable from the outside. So I'll tour around it one more time. But that's a pretty good look at the 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. It's in its element here out in the woods. But there's a good look at it. And we'll go forward to finish up with some concluding thoughts. So there's a good look at the 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. Again, the 40 series, known more for ruggedness and reliability over luxury and technology. You can see that this is a rugged looking machine built to last. Starts beautifully, idles freely. And as I say, this seller opted for our mobile pre-purchase inspection. The inspector's due here in a couple of hours. So do take a look at the inspection results on our detailed listing. In addition to that inspection, in addition to this video, we'll have probably 8 or 10 videos of the car in operation, over 100 photos certainly, and our normal detailed paragraph form listing. So please take a look. I don't have a lot number for you today, but it's going to be CollectorCarCanada.CA. Just search in our search bar, use 1979 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. It'll pop right up. And I think that concludes this video. Beautiful day. I'm going to go enjoy it. So 1979 Toyota FJ40 Land Cruiser. Thank you for watching, and on to the next car. Bye for now.